Bronson Moreau is back, coming off a Super Bowl win and an offseason built around a lot of celebrating the big dub against Patrick Mahomes of no other. As for offseason moves, the team still didn't do much for him. The only offensive guy added, Pat Freiermuth, coming in and replacing Noah Fant, who obviously we talked about had some discourse with our quarterback. As for the offensive line, no upgrade was added whatsoever, but we start the year with an injury to starting right tackle in Abraham Lucas. Defense is where the team continues adding new players. Denzel Perriman added as an outside linebacker. At corner, though arguably not needed, they did add Caleb Farley, and we drafted yet another safety in Malik Whitfield, who might be starting for us at free safety. And then in one of these stranger moves, they drafted another quarterback from the South in Brody Weatherspoon to be the backup to our Bronson Moreau. But despite all the partying that did happen for Moreau and the Seahawks with that Super Bowl dub, he did hit the field a good bit, kept that arm improving as he heads into our final season. And that is where we begin. And indeed, this will be the final year here of our superstar mode with Bronson Moreau. We won a Super Bowl. Now it's time to try to defend that Super Bowl with minimal adjustments to the offense, but that's kind of expected after you do win a Super Bowl. Bronson helped carry the team last year. Can he do it again? As we start off with the Eagles and 49ers, two tough foes, and this year we will strictly be playing on all Madden. So year 3 is underway here with Bronson Moreau and a slightly shaken up offense, though for the most part it's been the same core that has stuck around, as first play is to DK, who's going to turn it up, get a gain of 15. These two have built a really strong connection over the 2 years, and with that has continually led our quarterback and DK as we find Freiermuth here with a big game. New addition, the only new addition to the offense. As we were saying, DK and Moreau continuously being in that 2 and 3 spot for Offensive Player of the Year, though DK continually voted above our quarterback as he steps up, getting back to the line, avoids the sack. We'll bring up 2nd and 10 at the 21. First play of really no gain. As we stick with the same formation, honestly, it's the same play as Moreau. He shakes and bakes, gets smacked down, but brings up 3rd and inches. And we'll see what this offensive line can provide for us this year, as obviously they've always been of question in the past. It's Charbonnet not picking up the first down, though it's Moreau telling the team to get back to it quickly here, as they will go for it. 4th and inches. He looks to roll. That's some heavy pressure, but he gets by and can easily scamper to the end zone. First drive, season 3 is a touchdown. With all the focus going to the defense in the offseason, they will get a 3 and out here. So we are right back into it. Offensively, trying to step up, avoid lost yardage, and Moreau will get back to the line yet again. Now, it does appear that we will be just having Charbonnet out running back today. Looks like we had a practice injury to Walker as we find DK on the rollout. 3 passes, about 80 yards. While Moreau has accuracy well across the board, he prefers those medium and deep shots, so we'll continue to try to let those rip as long as the offense holds up. Or maybe don't rip it like that, because that sends it straight to the defense. Forced it to Tyler Lockett. It's Edmonds with the pick, the first turnover of the season. Was a good read, threw it too late. Good news, defense gets the stop yet again, so a chance to extend our lead with a couple minutes left here in the first, and the hit sends it straight to the linebacker. It's going to be a pick 6. That really unfortunate, had a receiver breaking across, but instead Brewer levels the game. After a really good first drive, it's been pretty bad for us since, as we jump forward into the second quarter now. It's the Eagles who have grown a lead. As we look across the middle, it is jarred free, intended for Smith and Jigba. Eagles might have given up some easy passes that first drive. They've tightened things up since. A bunch to the right-hand side here for Moreau, who's stepping up in the pocket yet again, trying to buy time downfield. Looks for DK, gets the catch, and it's a gain of 15. Many times last year, those two turned games around. I'm sure Moreau will look for him quite often here as they bring the blitz. Instead, we go with a zig inside. Lockett gets picked up, slammed down, leaving 2nd and 1. We'll have to see if at all we're able to run the ball here. Charbonnet, the lone back, will go with a weak side stretch. He gets the outside, gonna turn it up. Gain of 15, about a gain of 20 before getting dragged down. Well, he's been with us every step of the way in this series. He has not seen the field maybe more than 2 or 3 times. As we roll, it looks like Moreau's gonna step up. He gets a juke on the corner. A little bit of some payback on that pick inside the red zone. There are no high safeties. Gonna see if Freiermuth can get over the top as the safety does drop. Look for the quick check down. DK picks up the first. Moreau takes a hit. Eagles defense flying around pretty quickly here. Still at the 12 as we go with a heavy tight end set. A little bit of a play action roll as we look for our guy a little high, but it is brought in. Now 2nd-year tight end in Jacoby Ellison. 2nd touchdown of the year brings this game back level. But we wouldn't see the ball anymore for the rest of that first half. Jumping into the start here, our first drive of the 3rd. We are down a field goal rolling. We find Freiermuth on the move. It's going to be a nice gain for us, not able to stay in bounds, but up to the 42. He brings a very similar skill set, I would say, to Fant, but honestly a much higher ceiling, a little bit better run blocking we should see as well. As we look for him again, we try to keep it short. It's a linebacker that jars it free. Not against, though, trying to see what Freiermuth can do. 2nd and 10. Hard count, no one jumps. Moreau finally started to get some of those in the postseason as he scrambles again here, sliding down this time, still awkwardly. The former AAA pitcher never quite learned how to do that in his baseball years, though he finds DK here turning up, spinning off, but knocked out at the 8. As they have a tight group across the middle, though they bring the blitz, time it up, but Lockett can't squeeze it. And that does appear to be something new we're trying this year, as we're going to see more of Lockett in that slot spot instead of the younger receiver, as it is jarred free again. 4th and goal. Would love to stay out here, but it looks like the coach is going to send on the field goal unit. Or perhaps we didn't take the field goal, or it was blocked. Either way, we still are down despite leading us into field goal range. Obviously, we needed the touchdown. As we look to roll, we get the quick dump. Not even quick, that's pretty late. A late dump off, gain of 3. Just got to find our way to end with this drive in the end zone. Missing out on several opportunities today. Bronson stepping up, sliding down, this time a little bit more safely. Picks up that first down, and the offense straight back to it. Eagles change up their look, go too high. As Moreau still looking for those medium shots, or taking the wide open space down the middle, he slides down on the eye of the logo. Again, simple plays here is what got us to the Super Bowl and won us that Super Bowl. We'll go with a halfback screen here. Charbonnet, a little juke, picking up the first down out at the 41. Gotta say, feel like he's filling in pretty well for Walker. As we go spread empty here to match their double A gap, they do drop back into coverage. We look for the slant, and we find it. Charbonnet from the outside receiver spot. Off coverage, hard count, no one jumps. Looking for a corner or open space down the middle. Moreau looking for the end zone, and he will find it once again, putting his team in front, this time in the 4th quarter. Moreau shows off the wheels. With a 4-point lead, will the defense be able to keep it? Goddard starts him off with a gain of 10. A throwaway by Jalen Hurts. There were 3 minutes left here. Devontae Smith comes up just shy of the first. Hurts gets it on 3rd, keeping their drive alive. 12 back to Goddard as they're down to the 45, approaching the 2-minute warning. Incomplete pass brings up 3rd and 9. 12 yards, Devontae Smith. Need a stop here from our defense. That's the replay as we hit the 2-minute warning. Goddard picks up 5, leaving 5, as it's thrown away. Another 3rd down here. Eagles get 5, get the first down. Under a minute and a half, 1st and goal. Defense has to get a stop, but it will be the offense needed. Back down by 3 at the 25, 3 timeouts, a minute, 9 seconds. We've got to be smart, as that was not a smart throw. They're looking for another return. Moreau coming over, throws the shoulder, doesn't knock him out, but there is a flag down, and it's pass interference. So bailed out in a massive way. Bradbury apparently shoved Lockett out the way to get that pick, so we live to fight another down here. As Moreau will step up, follow the blocks, he takes the hit. Looked like he tried to slide, he didn't get down in time, as he does not call a timeout. Under 40 seconds with a fresh set of downs. Rolling to the outside, getting it to his receiver, who will pick up the first down. First timeout call. 3rd and 5, got a switch route on the outside. Moreau still looking for a chance towards the end zone. As he tries to thread the needle, it was not necessary at all. Looked like we had a better option on the outside. We throw away week 1. Sometimes you live by the aggression and you die by the aggression. And that is what happened here in week 1 for Bronson Moreau. He just simply forced things that did not need. And with that, he learns a lesson he's learned many a times. So heading into the next game, on the road against one of our biggest rivals, Moreau knows he's got to come back with a clean game. He can't have the same outcome as what happened in week 1. Starting with a dump-off gain of 3 to Walker's opening day. Perhaps if Moreau found his checkdowns a little bit more often in that last game, we wouldn't have had some of the turnovers that we did. So we'll look for a little bit more of that. As Moreau scrambles down, he gets clotheslined by the leg of Warner. And clearly he's getting up looking for a flag, none given. 3rd and 1 then. We'll hand this one off. Walker will pick up the first down. Gain of 5, though he would get shaken up on this play. And his season debut would not last long, as he would head to the locker room. At the 39, offense needing to bounce back with the injury, and Fred Warner, a heck of a play, swats it down. Tyler Lockett looked like he was going to be wide open. Instead, it's a 2nd down, as Moreau once again having to slide down. This time he doesn't get clotheslined. He slides safely, and he ends up picking up a decent gain, leaving 3 for 3rd. A little bit of a play action roll. It is thrown downfield, and it is picked off. I don't know what Moreau was looking for there, but that is not where he should have went. Perhaps he meant to throw to an underneath receiver and, well, accidentally threw it further down the field. Either way, it leads to a 7-0 deficit here pretty early on in the game, as it is thrown late and again straight to the defense. He puts a good hit on the linebacker. Greenlaw takes him to the 15. An awful start to the year for Bronson Moreau. Off the top of my head, I can't think of a quarterback who's had a similar style of career, where you've won a Super Bowl, but you've probably thrown just as many interceptions or turnovers as you've had touchdowns. At least one thing that can be said is Moreau always gives an entertaining game, whether it's to his home team or his away team, his rivals even. This time he makes a nice play in the pocket, rolls around, and he finds Lockett, who picks up the first. Perhaps a little bit too much celebrating in the offseason for Bronson Moreau. A little bit too little time on the field, especially under pressure, as he's become very accustomed to. Good thing Charbonnet picks up a nice gain on the screen, leaving us a 3rd and manageable here. As once again, Bronson steps up, but he can't get through the line. Hargrave knocks him down, but he keeps the offense out there. Trying to right the wrong here, as his team is down by 14. They bring the blitz. He rolls. He's got space. He's got a receiver. He finds him, and Smith and Jigba has finally got a catch. I think that's the first one we've seen this season. Definitely not his first target, but the first time we give him a catchable ball. 1st and goal then, just inside the 10. As Moreau will step up again, it's been rushing, which has been his success. The passing as an NFL quarterback, though, you need to improve. And at least gets us on the board, but it's a drive for the 49ers, putting them back up by 14 with about 4 minutes left here in the half. It's thrown up. DK cannot bring it down. as we have just over 3.5 minutes left in the half. Not drawing anyone off with the hard count. Freiermuth gets a nice step, he puts it on him, and it's a big gain past midfield. And I'm sure at tight end university, well, Freiermuth probably heard a little bit about the play style here of his new quarterback. Heave and hope, as Moreau will instead just tuck and run by the diving defender in Warner. Gets him down to the 24. Obviously, there's one quarterback in the NFL who's been called a running back more so than the others. I think, honestly, Bronson Moreau maybe needs to have that shift over to him. As he looks for a pass across the middle, it's a catch, DK touchdown. Safety tried to jump it, comes up empty. And we're back down by 1 score. But in the battle of high-flying offenses, it's the defenses that are struggling, very much so ours. As it's another drive for the 49ers, extending their lead back up. Swing this one out to Charbonnet. He will pick up 5, and we're faced with a very similar situation to the end of the prior game, though this one would just take us to halftime. Started with about the same amount of time on the clock. It's out for DK. It's a catch, a flag down as well. Looks like it's a late hit on the 49ers defense. Oh, for us, that takes what was already a big gain, grows it even more down to the 25 now. As we look for the screen, we get Charbonnet, a couple lead blocks, a big block. He's got space, but can't find the end zone. Down to the 3. It's a hurry-up offense here. As we look for a little bit of an RPO, we can swing it out to Freiermuth, and we will do that. Not getting the block we were looking for. Timeout called, leaving us a 3rd and goal at the 2. We drop back into shotgun. Try to create a little bit more space here. As it's a quick pass rush, a quick throwaway. 4th and goal, 8 seconds. Will they take the field goal? Will they let the offense stay out there? It will at least be Moreau coming off the field. As we take a jump forward here late into the 3rd quarter, we did find a field goal before half, but now we are at our own 3. Way backed up here, we look for a DK slant. He's going to extend this play, shucking off another, and we're up to the 30. In one play, we have 10 times the amount of space behind us, and that is what we need here, especially if we're to make a comeback in this game. As no one quite getting open is thrown out late, and Freiermuth gets upended. I think the ball sailed on him too. Fred Warner still put in a good hit, and with that, Freiermuth going to go take a breather. As we go with an RPO, we swing it out to the young tight end in Ellison, who will get a gain of 6. And for the first time in a little while, a much more manageable 3rd down here, not a 3rd and long. As we look for the hard count, still not able to get anyone to jump. Go back across the middle. Ellison gets the grab on the logo, and we'll continue our hurry-up offense. It is off coverage here, so we've got to keep an eye on that. Not going to get any clean breakaways. Spinning off of that one, though. Moreau, he's looking to rush here as he does not get the stiff arm on May, but it's a big play down to the 20 on what looked like it was going to be a sack. Trying to get one more play off this quarter, and indeed, he will. Looking for the 1st down. It's finding Lockett. And not exactly sure what happened, but we took a field goal. And we're on to our next drive with a defensive stop. We are down by 8. Rolling, throwing. That ball's lofted, but it finds its way to Freiermuth. He just couldn't squeeze it. Some of Moreau's throws a little bit more lofted than what we would hope. Might have been due to a little bit of some pressure, but he's done pretty well with that pressure today. And it gets picked off by Fred Warner on a pass that should have been about 7 yards behind him. Heck of a play from the linebacker, and honestly really unfortunate for Moreau. That time does not appear to be his fault. Just a fantastic play. Last year, Moreau took the division from the 49ers and knocked him out of the playoffs, and clearly they're looking for some big revenge. As it's a halfback screen here, it's the only way we've gotten Charbonnet involved. He picks up 5, leaving 3rd and 5. And it's hurry-up offense probably from here on out. Safety walks down to the left-hand side. Got to keep an eye on that. They don't bring him on the blitz. As there's a little bit of some soft space. Lockett can't hold on to it either. With a 4th and 5, under 6 minutes, offense staying out there. If we don't convert this, it might be the ceiling play of the game. Moreau will get it with his legs. He gets smacked down. He's got to find a way to get down safely. He's taken too many hits. But he keeps the offense moving here, and then with that, the game slightly alive, but we're going to need some bigger plays. as it's going up top. A penalty thrown. They might call some early contact from the corner, and indeed that's what we're gonna get. 2nd and 10, has a bunch to the right-hand side. He steps up in the pocket. He's got a lane yet again, and he will take it into the end zone, giving his team a chance. Now, do we go for 2 here, or do we take the point after? It is just the PAT. With 4:04 and a stop from the defense, we're back down by 8. We need another touchdown drive, and we need a 2-point try here from Moreau, as Lockett should have been able to get to that one. Check down here, Freiermuth will not get the catch, as it's Freiermuth diving off his hands. Not even sure if he needed to dive on that one. With that, it looks like they're going to pull the offense off. Expect the defense to get another stop. With good starting position here, McCaffrey picks up a gain of 8. 12 goes to Deebo Samuel, about field goal range. Definitely in range now, and a field goal would end this game. Big penalty there, skipped around a little too quick. It's 3rd and 21. They get 5, edge of field goal range. McCaffrey injured on the same play. 4th and 15. Jake Moody hits a field goal. That makes things extremely hard here for Bronson Moreau to fix his team's mistakes, including his own. What we could really use is one of those one-play touchdown drives. DK did so many of that last year, but it is one-on-one off coverage here. Can he get a step, run by the corner? It's out for him, and we're gonna get it. DK, one-play touchdown drive. This game is not over yet. But it will be a really important 2-point try here. Gonna look for Ellison to leak underneath. As we loft it out to him, it's too high. Everything has just seemed a bit off. Super Bowl hangover, perhaps. And if he keeps it down, then we might have a game here. We do not recover the onside, and with that, we get a stop from the defense. No idea what just happened. This game mode is awful at giving us details about what is happening on the opposite side of the ball, but a chance here late as it's thrown. It's a 1st down to Tyler Lockett, and an injury for a San Francisco 49er is a free timeout for us. It's a bad way of looking at it, but a huge thing. Hopefully he's okay. With us now at the 35, we're in range. Bronson can find the end zone from here, back 1-on-1. As we look for a back shoulder to DK Metcalf, flag down. They might be called again for DPI, and indeed that is the call. So 1st and goal at the 4. 22 seconds left. A huge chance to upset in a game we should not win. It's a sack. Moreau couldn't get it off in time. This will be it. Final play of the game. Bronson Moreau snaps the ball. Pass rush in his face, and the 49ers will still get the win despite so much going in our favor late. The team could not get it done. Blocking, catching, throwing. Charbonnet, I can't say anything bad about him. He did what he could with his opportunities. It's the rest of the team that has struggled out the gate. So with the Super Bowl defense season already on the lines here in week 3, it's back at home against the Saints. We've got to come ready to play, and already game starting off right where we left off, a hit in on our quarterback. Bronson Moreau just might have to shake up how we were hoping to run this offense this year. A little bit more quick, fast-paced, or if we look for a deep shot here, DK, this will answer. Once again, deep shot DK, and maybe that's why he continues to outdo Moreau for Offensive Player of the Year. Well, perhaps that's a great learning opportunity on how we should run our offense. Unfortunately, the lead doesn't stay around long as the Saints do tie, and it's yet again another hit in on our quarterback. I just need to look in a few different directions. Smacked again, this time from behind. As we need one of the deeper shots, it's another sack. Offensive line struggle bus to start the year. As we now jump forward Offense still struggling as we are now down to the Saints at home. Gotta find ways to get this game going, and nearly throwing a pick is not gonna do it. We've learned we need to adapt a little bit to a quicker pass game, but that one nearly costly. 2nd and 10. Continue with a different style of slant, and it's actually gonna be a rush here for Moreau. He's gotta get things done on the ground, and that is just what we're gonna have to do. Spread out the defenses and let Moreau decide essentially if he's going to pass or run an RPO, but it's just based off of the quarterback. That might be our offense until the offensive line gets itself sorted, and as well as Moreau's passing. He does pick up the first down yet again, rushing the ball. And we'll continue with our hurry-up offense, though that's probably going to tire out Moreau pretty well. As he waits, tries to let things develop, scrambles again, he picks up a gain of 8. Just waiting for someone to pop off here. See if the defense will step down, which they have not yet. Wide open though, Lockett. Gonna give a little bit of a breather for Moreau as it's a nice gain. Catch and run for Tyler. As they do go press on the outside here. We'll send DK down the field. Try to get a little bit of a step ball, a little underthrown, and we're honestly lucky it's just knocked away. Perhaps Lattimore, if on him that time, that would have been a pick. Catch ourselves a little bit lucky. Sometimes you just need a little bit of some luck. As there's a wide open target, that time the hit lofts it, and we find lane, and it works in our favor. I'm pretty sure we could all think of a few times today where those lofts on the hit have not gone in our favor. We'll take that one. Freiermuth to the outside, and it's through his hands. So far, a lot of drops from our receivers, at least over the last game and a half. Hard count from Moreau. Pass rush, forming. He looks to scramble, looks for a little juke, and he's shy of even the first down. They say 3rd and inches. Moreau clearly not agreeing, but nothing you can do about it as the coach does not throw the red flag. We hand it off. Walker, who pushes into the end zone. Moreau does a little somersault to celebrate, and we tie this game up. As it's been so far every time this year, celebration doesn't last long. It's a quick drive from the Saints. They retake a lead. Under a minute left in this first half. It's a deep shot. Jarred away. No flag to bail us out. We found ourselves extremely lucky in the last game. We're not going to get that every single time. Sitting in off coverage yet again. Lockett gets a nice step. Find a gain across the middle. Push down. We'll call our first timeout there. With so much pressure, he's got to find that first option and let it fly. As he finds Freiermuth, holds on to it. We call that second timeout. Down to 11 seconds left, and Moreau's actually going to flip things here. With the off coverage, we're going to get Smith-Njigba not on Lattimore as the deeper option. See if that opens things up, or instead we go opposite way. Lockett, he's going to turn up, and he does not get out of bounds. We'll call that final timeout, and we might just have to settle for the field goal. Which, when you combine that with a stop here from the defense to begin the second half, we have an opportunity to take a lead. As Moreau starts already scrambling, he gets clotheslined by his own player and a defender. Tag team to smack down the QB. Leaves 2nd and inches. Back into the hurry up. Moreau just looking for a quick option. Will swing it out to Walker, who will just get that first down. The Saints line far improved from how we started as another pass rush almost instantaneously. Smith-Williams making it 3rd and very long. But how will Moreau fight against this? Once again, press coverage on the outside. 2 high safeties. Might as well send everyone deep because we got a long way to go. Good step from Smith-Njigba. Placed out front. He gets the catch, and 3rd and 16 does not matter. Going back to the press coverage. Well, if you keep doing that, we'll continue to send DK. Eventually, he'll find his big play as Moreau flips where he scrambles. Going to go to the right-hand side instead, sliding down just shy of the 20. 3rd and 11. Hard count, no one jumps. Got to find our guy, and we have him, but Moreau's throw is off. Hit by the blitzer, and we will settle for yet another field goal. Though that would appear to be a field goal that was missed. It is still 21-17. Even the special teams struggling out the gate as that one's gonna get picked. Mistakes now starting to stockpile for Moreau as turnovers weren't a problem until now. Add the injury to the offensive line on top of it. A shocking start here for our Super Bowl champions. Back down by 2 scores as we've seen for a majority of these games. Heading into the 4th quarter, DK, he finds a nice play here. Big game. We've found these on most of our drives. It's finishing the drives that have been the problem. And as the 4th quarter arrives, we've got to do that now. With 8 minutes, down by 11, we start at the 47. Hard count from Moreau, as he's got to just find somewhere to go. It's Lockett to the outside, and he perfectly times that throw. Good catch from Lockett. We need everyone to step up. Well, that means not only do we need Moreau to throw some accurate passes, not turn over the ball, but we also need our guys to catch it when we give it to them. And on top of that, some blocking from the line would go a long way. If we could get all of that, well then maybe we'll get back to the form we had that won us the Super Bowl, as we have Freiermuth. It is jarred free. Needed that ball to get there a bit quicker. And obviously the touch from Moreau has been a little bit sporadic in this one. 3rd and 9. A little bit of a play action and immediate pressure off the edge. The tackle stepped down instead of getting the man lined up on him. And we'll have to settle for yet another field goal attempt. I can't even say that we're going to make one. But as we finally do, we also give up another touchdown. So now down by 15, 3.5 minutes left. As we toss this one up, I think that's the 3rd string tight end that we overthrow. So it appears like gonna have to go back to the drawing board unless this team can pull off something of miracle fashion here. As we do find our tight end coming across, Freiermuth holds on to it. I'll say been a little bit disappointing with his start. He's dropped a lot of catchable balls. Some not quite his fault though, put him in bad spots. As we do have Lockett, that ball comes up well short. Luckily it's dropped, should have been picked off by Coles. It just kind of seems like Moreau is not quite getting the zip on these passes like he was in last year, really. Not sure if that's due to all the hits he's taken, as it's another one picked off. Tried to get it to Lockett, but that will probably put this one away. Taylor with the nail in the coffin. So it will be back to the drawing board with an 0-3 start. Bronson Moreau and his Seahawks don't resemble their Super Bowl form by any means. 50%. That is what we've gotten here from Bronson Moreau. Not only in his completion percentage, but his touchdowns to interceptions also sitting at 50%. It has been bad start. He's done decently rushing the ball. That's the only thing saving him though. Even with the touchdowns and fumbling added to his total stats, it still leaves him in the negatives when it comes to turnover differential. And of course, with the start he's had, he also has thrown the most amount of interceptions, though there's other quarterbacks struggling too. Anthony Richardson has thrown 6, that's at least 2 per game. Fields, at least 1 per game, as well as Desmond Ridder, and then a few other guys have also thrown 3. So it is still a really bad start for Bronson Moreau, and if he is to correct things in his final season here, well then we're going to need to see him and the Seahawks turn things up. It also doesn't help that every single one of our offensive linemen have given up a sack, including non-starters. But Kyrie Hall has not had a great start to his sophomore year. Abraham Lucas, he's only played in 2 games and he's given up at least 2 sacks. Plus, this isn't even counting all of the hits put in on Bronson. If we fix that issue, give us a little bit more time to throw, I think things will clean on up. But we'll have to see next time, as Bronson Moreau and his Seahawks are still looking for their first win on their Super Bowl defense season, and they're going to have to change things quickly if they're to have a chance at another before the end of this series. So stick around, see what happens for Bronson Moreau. If he just completely falls apart and, who knows, maybe goes back to the MLB, we will find out as we continue on. So hit that subscription button either down below or the bear icon in the bottom right, and definitely tap that bell icon so you're notified of when these videos go live. This series every single Monday, Wednesday, Friday. The States Only Challenge every Tuesday and Thursdays. We just started a new one, and we'll also have some college football news dropping here and there until the release, which will then massively take over this channel. So make sure you stay tuned for that, and we will see you next time as Bronson Moreau either decides to throw some touchdown passes or lead the league in interceptions by more.